Well, hello. Happy Friday. It's April 20th, and I thought I would hop on really quickly and just chat with you all a little bit about inspiration and what you do when you're not feeling it. So today was one of those days where I really didn't want to do anything. I had some distractions going on in my personal life, and I just wasn't feeling motivated to be productive. And I had the choice of wasting time and just trying to relax and just wait around until what I thought would be resolved could be resolved, or moving forward and doing what I can to pursue my dreams and my goals and to build my businesses. And so I was thinking today about what other people do when they're not motivated. And I know for me, the first thing that I have to do is ask myself, what is my goal? Why am I doing this? I know for me, with these different live videos and with the blog, my goal is to inspire people to talk about what they're doing in their life, to talk about their purpose, to think about their dreams, to share ideas that keep them mentally and spiritually healthy, and build a community of people who support each other that's diverse and that's full of different dreams and different goals and connect people. So for me, with that being my goal, that takes consistency, because you can't have a community unless you're investing in it. You can't be a part of a community unless you're investing in it. So on the days when I don't feel like working on my writing, I don't feel like doing videos, I don't feel like talking to people, I have to think about this goal and be okay, if I take a day off, what will change? How will this goal be impacted? Now, for that kind of thing, it's important to take care of yourself. Some self-care is important. Rest is important. And taking a day off really just impacts my algorithm more than anything. And that's okay. I can rebuild that. Not a big deal. But sometimes taking a day off means that encouragement that someone else really needs to hear hasn't been shared. And sometimes it means that ideas and information that other people need, they aren't getting. So it can be selfish to take a day off from your goals and from your dreams because other people are depending on you to continue pursuing them. Now, the flip side of that is, what might suffer if I don't take a day off? If I'm hi somebody, hello. Now, what could suffer from me taking a day off? If I'm completely exhausted and can't form a coherent sentence, there's really no point in me continuing when I can't. Hey, Archie, we went to school together. He's pretty dope. He's in ministry. So if you take a day off when you need to rest, when you need that time to recharge because you can't even speak in English or your native language, whatever language you need to speak, if it's not happening, taking a day off is probably a good idea. But on those days when you're just feeling unmotivated and uninspired, but you have the energy, you have the thoughts, you should probably push through. Now, what are some ways you can stay motivated? I would say remembering why you're doing it. Who is benefiting? We kind of already talked about that, but you have to have a vision in front of you. You have to have some kind of reminder of what you're working towards, because there are days when it's just challenging work and it's not inspiring. And we talked a little bit about that over on the blog. Fighting Words was a big one. The Journey was another one. So those two series, if you want to check those out, we talk more about that. But you have to remind yourself of why you're doing it. And every day you have to remind yourself, because there are people who always make you want to quit. There are people who you always just want to be you know what? You're right. I shouldn't be doing this. But you have to keep going. Now, what might you do if you were feeling uninspired? You have things you need to do, content you need to create. What keeps you inspired? Well, there are a lot of ways to invest in that side of your heart and your brain. I think you should be filling your mind with videos and books and music and podcasts, anything you can that could apply to spiritual growth in any area that makes you a better and more inspired person, that applies to the field that you're working in and building in. Things that have new ideas, things that have fresh perspectives, those things that cause you to look at what you're doing differently is going to keep you inspired. Hey, April, hope you're doing good. So keeping yourself motivated has a lot to do with how you're investing in yourself as well. And then pushing past the fatigue, and that could be mental, emotional, or physical. Sometimes you have to power through. And when you're discouraged and you don't feel like you're getting results, that's when you have to step back and assess, okay, one, how long have you been doing this? Because if you're discouraged after 2 days, it's not really an accurate indicator, right? Like, not much changes in 2 days. So assess how long you've been doing it. If you haven't been working at something for at least 90 days, you can't give a very accurate assessment of success. Second, look at how persevering would impact you personally. It doesn't matter what you're working on. If you have a dream that you're pursuing, look inward first. Are you building emotional stamina? Are you developing grit? Are you developing courage and confidence? If you continue pursuing those goals, even when you're discouraged, you're growing as a person. You're becoming stronger. You're becoming more dynamic. So it could be worthwhile to keep going. And then looking even further, who would be impacted if you stop? A lot of people's goals are tied to their families and their loved ones. A lot of people's goals are tied to things that are much bigger than them. And if they get discouraged by small beginnings, and if you give up before anything has a chance to really grow or gain momentum, you're never going to achieve that dream for yourself or your loved ones or the people who are a part of that vision. So I would really encourage you guys today to assess your level of motivation, your level of inspiration, and your level of discouragement. How can you address each of those things? How can you stay motivated? How can you stay inspired? How can you deal with discouragement? And encourage yourself to continue pursuing your God-given purpose and those dreams that keep you up at night, which is, I guess, an oxymoron, but we all have like dreams that we have throughout the day, things that you might have even dreamed of at night that keep you going. Don't forget why you started. Sometimes those dreams take a different turn, and they do look different than what you originally thought it was going to be, and maybe what you started pursuing turns into something else, and that's okay. You have to go forward and take that first step towards what you know. And sometimes that first step leads somewhere you didn't expect, but that doesn't make it any less right. If you are continuing to pursue the passion that's in your heart, if you are continuing to follow the things that God has set before you, the journey is always going to look different. And it's always going to be fresh vision. There's always going to be another aspect to it. So the way we handle that fresh vision is by staying motivated, by staying consistent, because then when it comes, you're ready for it. So I want to encourage you guys today, as you're assessing those different levels, to also assess how from point A to, whatever point you're in your journey, whether it's X, Y, Z, or maybe just C or D, assess how that vision has developed. Track the progress that you've been making towards your goals and see what you can do to become more consistent, to become more determined, to stay inspired, to stay motivated, to stay faithful to what you're pursuing, and see how that vision continues to develop. See how other people are impacted and what can change. I think that it's such a beautiful thing when you're watching other people or you're seeing yourself follow that God-given path and that journey and that dream. It's incredible to watch the development and to see how many other people are impacted and blessed by it. So don't despise the small beginnings today, guys. Don't get discouraged in the middle of the journey. Keep pressing forward. Use this weekend to refresh and recharge if you need to, but then come back stronger than ever on Monday. Get ready to hit it hard because you have a purpose. You have things that you need to do, and it's time that we stop letting discouragement get in the way of it. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I will talk to you soon, and until next time, let's keep the conversation going.